Hello all, welcome to the second year for my meh movies of 2014. If you're new to my channel, last year I started a newer video series, Best, Meh, and Worst. But I added meh last year because I always had the best and worst. And by the success of that video, here we are for year 2. Sorry it's a little bit late, but of course I've been working on getting these movies out the way. So far I'm going to have the meh movies first because there's not that many of them. So yes, these are movies that are considered either bad movies by everybody else, but I ended up checking out and ended up liking, or they ended up being guilty pleasures, or they ended up being movies that were not that good, or just an overall disappointment. Not really bad or good, just a disappointment to what they used to be. So yeah. Anyways, we have 11 movies here. So at number 11, we're going to start off with Leprechaun Origins. Leprechaun Origins was a movie that when I first saw it, I didn't like it. Okay? I bought the Leprechaun Complete Blu-ray collection. I don't know why, but I did. And I watched the special features, and I ended up seeing what they were trying to go for in the first place. And then I rewatched the movie again, like the next 2 times, and it grew on me. It's actually my favorite Leprechaun movie of the Leprechaun series. The second one would be In the Hood. That's the only 2 good Leprechaun movies out there. So yeah, and yeah, the acting was not great. It was mediocre at best. But I did like what they were going for. I did like Hornswoggle as the Leprechaun, even though he kept going. Yeah, it's stupid, I know, but it's not terrible. So thank you for not fucking that up, WWE. Next up, we have Airplane versus Volcano. This is a movie that I really did enjoy. It's not the best Asylum movie out there, but it's certainly not the most terrible Asylum movie. I've seen a lot of shitty Asylum movies, let me tell you. Okay, so this one was a nice surprise when I actually found out they actually made something decent. So, yeah, and plus Dean Cain's in here. I haven't seen Dean Cain in a good while. I know he had direct-to-DVD, direct-to-TV, Lifetime movies, and all that such. But this was actually a movie I actually wanted to see from him besides the 10.5 sequel, which was good. And I wasn't disappointed. I was entertained by it. The effects were absolutely better than all the other Asylum movies for the first time ever from that company. So, yeah, it was actually pretty decent. And at number 9, we have Sex Tape. Even though I gave Sex Tape a B, it is still a movie that I'm only going to watch once in my lifetime. I have no desire to watch it again. But it's not a terrible movie because it's on this list. It's actually just a movie that if you want to watch it for one time, it's one of those one-time only watch movies. That is also what this list is about. So if anybody's having any consistencies about what movies to check out for like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, Sex Tape is one of those. It was actually a pretty, surprisingly, alright movie. It wasn't good, it wasn't great, it wasn't terrible. It was just okay. Okay? Some of the comedy was dry, which is why it ended up on this list instead of the best movies list. But when they land properly, and plus Cameron Diaz was such a sweetheart. She's always such a sweetheart in everything she does. Jason's what's his name? Jason Segel? Not Jason Segel. Yeah, Jason Segel. He was actually pretty good in here. He lost a lot of weight. He looks like almost he's anorexic in this movie. It's fucking weird. But yeah, pretty decent. Next up, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Michael Bay produced movie that I did not end up hating, and I'm shocked because I think I gave this movie a better grade than I did Transformers: Age of Extinction, which says a lot. Because I think Age of Extinction, I think I gave that a D, and I gave this one a D+. So I actually like this one a lot more. So, yeah. But I only gave this movie a D because it hit a dry spell. It was kind of something in there that I can't really... I said it in my review, but I forgot what I said now ever since I reviewed it. It was just something missing in the middle. It was just like, it was kind of halfway all there, but not truly all there for it to have a complete movie. Plus, that ending to Amazing Spider-Man, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Amazing Spider-Man, it's the exact same fucking ending. Plus, spoiler alert again, April O'Neil defeating Shredder. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, I want to see none of that shit in the sequel. Okay? I want to see the Turtles whoop Shredder's ass, man. Okay? Give us that. Let's give us that. The first movie in the 1990s gave us that shit. But then they went and messed it up by making two. But you get what I'm saying. Anyway. The CGI Turtles didn't look half bad as they did before the production was actually complete. They used to look horrendous. Especially what they were trying to go for before they ended up with the CG models that we have now. No. I did like that practical turtle head though when the movie was in production. It was like a practical, it looked like a turtle head. It had like the strong pointed mouth. It was weird. It was nice. But it wasn't too bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. And no more hitting on fucking April O'Neil by a turtle. Nobody want to see a turtle dick inside April O'Neil, thank you. I'd rather see my dick inside April O'Neil, but yeah. Because let's face it, she's hot. Yeah. Not a great actress, but she's hot. Anyway, the next surprise on my list is The Purge Anarchy, a movie that I thought was going to absolutely suck because I absolutely despised that first one because that first one was such a fucking letdown disappointment to where it was just, you had this perfect setup. Crime is legal 24 hours. Kill anybody you want or kill people that pissed you off in the past or somebody that you hate at work. We all have somebody like that. I do. Not at the work I have now. Well, yeah, I kind of do have one at the work I have now. But you get what I'm saying. Okay? And what did they do? We have a home invasion movie. We had one in 2005 with Bruce Willis. That also sucked. What was that called? Hostage. But this one was actually set outside. It was actually around Los Angeles, and we followed the characters around as shit was going on. We got these new weird people coming around in trucks, fucking shit up. We got, what's his name? Oh my god, what is his name from Winter Soldier? I forget his name. He's in that movie. He's gonna be Crossbones in the third movie, possibly. Frank Grillo, there we go. He was awesome, okay? He's a man on a mission in this movie, and he's going out there to take his frustrations out on everybody else until he meets these two ladies, and then he decides to help them out. That was good. That was different. That's what I wanted to see. That is what the first one should have been. Should have been outside, everybody getting fucked up. But the only other reasons why it's not higher on the best movies list or whatever is because that pointless scene with the homeless people. I hate that scene. Chris Stuckman also talked about that in his review. I didn't like it either. I thought that was kind of stupid. So for that reason alone, it ended up on this list. But it would have been a fantastic entry. So hopefully The Purge 3 will be like this. But don't take out all the random stupid shit like that homeless scene. That could have been ended up cut. And it would have been a better movie for it. We'll see. And at number 6, we have The Quiet Ones. Not the best horror movie. Certainly not the most terrible. But since it was a tad bit boring, it ended up on the meh movies list. Will I ever watch The Quiet Ones again? Maybe one more time for Halloween, and that'll probably be it. But I thought the acting was pretty good. The guy from Resident Evil Apocalypse, I don't know his name, but you know him. He has the glasses on in this movie. He had glasses on in that movie as well, so he's like the professor or something like that in this movie. I forgot what he does in this movie, but he was actually pretty good. Okay? The movie was pretty solid for what it was, and it was damn sure. I say damn sure better than Devil's Due. What was that, Fox? What was that? Anyways, down to the top 5 movies. And I think you're gonna like the number 5 movie I have, because most of everybody do like it, and I actually surprised I liked it too. I liked it better than the first one. Sharknado 2, the second one. Holy shit. You made a movie that I actually enjoyed a little bit more. It was still over the top crazy shit, but it wasn't the first movie. The first movie was just stupid. It was something about this movie that made it a better movie than the first one. I can't explain it. You have to watch the first one to see how shitty the first one is, and then watch this one. You're gonna notice a slight difference about this one. It's like they actually put a little bit more care into the second one, which kind of makes no sense since the since the tagline, the hashtag title is the second one. But yeah, watch both movies. You'll see what I'm talking about. Number 4, we have Draft Day. This is like the NFL head coach video game for a movie. It's basically something that we didn't really care about, we didn't really need, but we got anyways, and it didn't make much money. But unlike the head coach video game, it wasn't too much of a wasted time. We actually got decent characters, especially in Dennis Leary. You can't go wrong with Dennis Leary. Kevin Costner's somewhat of a comeback, if you will. It's not terrible. It was it's not as worse as his other one, which is far up on the list, but it was okay. It was solid. Jennifer Gardner was hot still. Tom Welling was good to see again. I did not recognize that was Tom Welling at first. Man, he's getting older. So yeah, we need more Tom Welling in our lives. At number 3, Veronica Mars, the movie. You know, when this show was on about a decade ago on a network called UPN, it was still boring as hell on the UPN network. The UPN network, of course, now we all know it as the CW, which is out here in Los Angeles, a merger between KTLA 5 and UPN 13, Channel 13, which now Channel 13 has now been relabeled My Network 13. Yeah. This was one of the shows that actually went over and merged in with the CW, so it actually survived the initial merger of both networks. But it wasn't great. It's not terrible. It was a okay show to watch. I mean, there was some comedy humor in there. That's what kept it a little bit interesting. Otherwise, I would have been bored to death. This one has a little bit of comedy relief in there, but it still mostly bores. But Kristen Bell is not bad to look at, and she does good in this movie, as well as the dad that was in the show as well, who also played the lead officer on the Canadian show Flashpoint, which was one of my favorite cop shows ever. I'm gonna have to review Flashpoint. Plus, we had Amy Jo Johnson as a cop, Pink Power Ranger as a fucking SWAT officer. Put on the helmet, girl. Put on that fucking helmet. Anyway, Veronica Mars was an okay movie, but it's not one I'm going to remember. Not one I'm ever going to watch again. I'm pretty sure if you're a Veronica Mars fan, that's good. I'm not going to fault you. You're going to love the movie if you like the show. If you like the show better than the movie, then you probably know what I'm talking about. But yeah. At number 2, we have Kevin Costner's first release of the year, 3 Days to Kill. A movie that I really didn't care for, but it did grow on me a little bit, but it's still an okay movie for Kevin Costner's comeback. Is it one I'm going to watch again? No. I have no urgency to watch this movie again, but it was a solid action movie. It wasn't the best, wasn't terrible, but it wasn't enough to make a best movies list because I gave the movie a C+. Plus, the chemistry between him and his daughter was kind of iffy at points and stuff like that. But the action was good, so that more than well made up for almost everything in the movie. That's why it ended up on this list. Because without that action, this would have been another boring ass drama by Kevin Costner. And in at number 1, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this one, more so than Veronica Mars. But everybody had this movie on their worst movies of 2014 list. And I mean, everybody. I just can't see it. I just don't fucking see it. You probably know what I'm talking about since it's the thumbnail of this fucking video. I, Frankenstein. I actually enjoyed I, Frankenstein for what it was. A stupid action movie with Aaron Eckhart as Frankenstein's monster. I'm about as straight as I can tell you. That is a very good looking Frankenstein's monster. Seriously. Come on now. You couldn't make him look more ugly. Okay? He looked it worse when fucking Christopher Nolan turned him into the Two-Face. You mean to tell me that a couple of scarred lines around his face and around his body is going to make up for the fact that he still looks like Aaron Eckhart, that the women are still not going to swoon for his dumb ass? I don't think so. But you have Yvonne Strahovski in here. Oh my god, I love that girl. From Chuck. Yes. Yvonne. That's my baby. Australian and oh god damn. But yeah. Silly action movie. Okay acting. Okay effects. It's a memorable movie. But I got more watchability about this movie than I did any other movie on this list. So now you can kind of see why it's number 1, because besides number 1, number 2 probably would have been Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But since I've only seen it once so far, I'm definitely going to rewatch that movie again. But yeah. All in all, that is my meh movies of 2014. Stay tuned because I am still watching movies for my best and worst list. It's going to take a minute, but I'm going to get it done. Trust me, I will get my shit done. I always do. And I always come through in the end times. But anyways, if you have movies that are guilty pleasures, that you probably gave C pluses to if you're a movie reviewer, if you probably thought that wasn't half bad as I did everybody else, drop them down below in your mini meh movies of 2014, if you have any. Somebody out there's got to like I, Frankenstein besides me. I'm just saying. But anyways, I will see you guys when I do those videos, and I'll catch you later.